take a step back before I get all up in your
Remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
You're the dudes holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Jerry's gonna get him.
Sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics. Fantasy sports and politics.
Listeners are asking questions about this week's games, not Jerry's personal beef. So what's your thought?
Hello. It's me, it's Mr. FSP. Doing what I do because I do it for you all day, every day. It's Fantasy Sports and Politics. I got on my Fantasy Sports and Politics shirt. You know, spend a little money, shake a little cash, make them girls shake that. I'm not going to say it. But on today's show, we're going to talk about some organizations spending money and going after these quarterbacks. But before we do that, there's some big news. Not really, but big news I want to share with the big man, my co-host JTATM Money. What's up, JTATM Money? I can't see what that says. What does it say?
King. It says the king. That's what it says. The king.
You're not the king, but okay.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, because you're happy because Cleveland made a stupid mistake again and just traded for Jerry Jeudy. Is that why you think you're a king?
Oh, that's no super mistake. No, that's not a super mistake. He was in a bad situation. Bad situation. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So he's been in a bad situation his entire career, huh?
Yes. Absolutely. He's had questionable quarterback play. Now he's going to get better.
His hands have been questionable. I can say that.
Okay. I mean, I'll say this. Rather than banter back and forth, I'm going to say you have your opinion, I have mine, and we'll leave it at that. Hopefully we'll leave it at that. I know you just like to go back and forth, but I'm not going to play that game.
See,
I'm not going to play that game.
I appreciate that because for a long time, when my late cousin would be on the show, you just loved doing that and taking his side every time, no matter how wrong he was.
How long ago was that, man?
I know. That's why I said,
give it up.
No, excuse me.
Give it up.
Excuse me. No. I'm glad you got that shirt on because I was looking at Shaka Zulu.
Okay.
King of the Zulus, right?
Yeah.
So I'm coming hard to take care of business.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Shaka! Y'all, listen.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're in the market for a quarterback. I think you're in the market.
Who's in the market for a quarterback?
Cleveland. They're in the market for a quarterback. I believe they are also
maybe a cornerback, not a quarterback.
No, I said quarterback.
Not even close.
I think this move to get Jerry Jeudy shows that, and I think you mentioned this too. Stefanski's going to move more toward a pass-happier offense. Amari Cooper is on the downswing, but he's a good possession receiver. He's just not a good all-around receiver.
Better receiver than Terry McLaughlin. That's a fact.
Oh no, he's not better than Terry McLaughlin.
Statistical fact.
No, it's not. It wasn't when we had them both together. It wasn't last year, and it won't be this year.
Okay.
Why are you taking shots?
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay.
We know for a fact it wasn't when we had them.
Let me say this. Let me say this, and I'm gonna shoot my first shot.
You already shot the first shot.
I'm gonna shoot my first shot today.
No, you did.
A Benjamin that Mari Cooper has more touchdowns and more yardage than Terry McLaughlin. That's my first shot.
McLaughlin?
Come on, you scared? You scared?
No, I'm positive. I'm positive. You know
Terry
what?
McLaurin. Terry McLaurin. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure I was going to win that bet. I'm sure I was going to win that bet.
No, you weren't.
I'll tell you what.
You,
Depending on who we
no.
draw,
No. No.
I need to know.
Let me put it this way, Perry. He has no balls. He's telling me I have none. He does not
we know
have
you
a
have
settle.
none. We know you have none because every time it comes down to
Let
it.
me put it this way.
Thank you, House.
Let me put it this way.
Thank you, House.
Let me put it this way. Amari Cooper has performed better than Terry McLaurin. And McLaurin with multiple quarterbacks. Multiple quarterbacks.
So has Terry. What are you talking about?
Not as good as Amari. Not as good as Amari.
Actually, yeah.
Actually, no.
Last year was the worst statistical year that he had.
Hey, what can I tell you?
But we're talking about over the careers. Amari's had a vast
Are you
number,
kidding me?
Wait a minute, a vast number of years over Terry. So if you're going to count those, yeah. But if you're counting the only time, if you're only going to count the time they've been in the league together, Terry McLaurin has been better overall than Amari Cooper. Now, moving on, as I said,
go ahead.
After I find out who our quarterback is, I accept that bet depending on who our quarterback is.
Here we go.
That's what I'm going to say. Because right now, we know you guys are going to have Deshaun Watson for like 3 games. We know that.
Okay.
And then
that's your opinion.
And then you're going to go to DTR because that's your backup. Right now, we don't know who our starter is. We believe Sam Howell's going to be the backup because Sam Howell's the only quarterback left under contract. So that would be stupid of me and irresponsible of me to make that wager right now. So I will tell you this. I don't know what you put a plus up here for in the private chat, but okay.
What are
you put a plus up there.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. It says from your Twitter account, you put a plus.
I haven't even put anything up. What are you talking about?
Dude, on the private account at 10:06, JT puts a plus. Whatever. I don't know.
Trust me.
You sent me a private message. You had a
no,
plus
I didn't.
on it.
No, I did not.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? To prove you wrong yet again.
Look, dude. Look.
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Look,
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
I haven't been on Twitter.
Well, wherever
you
are, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
I haven't.
Again, you're not hearing me, and you're disbelieving me.
You're not hearing me.
Jerry,
I just jumped.
I just shared my screen. What is that up in the corner? Are you the only JT at Magic Man 1954, right? At 10:06. Again, you did that. You're the only one on that account, right?
It wasn't me. Listen to me. It wasn't me. I haven't.
Are you Shaggy? Are you Shaggy right now? It wasn't me. It's right there. It's right there. How can you say it wasn't you? It's right in front of you.
It wasn't. Look. Let me say. Since I've been talking to you, I've been on the ESPN website. Haven't been anywhere else. I'm looking up.
Well, Jerry,
I'll put it this way. God, man, I can't believe it.
Somebody has access to your account.
Okay.
Because it came from you. That's all I can say. I can't say it came from somebody else.
You can't take somebody's word for it. You think I'm gonna lie to you? Come on,
Jerry, it's not taking your word for it. I pulled it up. It's right here in front of you in black and white.
It's not, and I'm telling you, it's not me because I'm right now I'm looking up Terry McLaurin's stats. So
I'm telling you,
I don't know where it came from.
Okay, but what I'm telling you is it's from your account. Yeah. If you didn't do it, somebody has access to your account.
Okay.
So no one called you a liar. I'm just saying, how can you deny it when it's right there? That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I just told you I didn't do it. And you don't want to take my word for it? I just told you I didn't do it.
Did you not understand what I just said? I just said if it's not you, somebody has access to your account.
Okay. I can't.
And that's what I'm saying.
I can't do anything about it right now. Okay. I can't do anything about it right now. If you just said,
ladies and gentlemen, do you see what I go through? I'm trying to tell this man that this has happened. He's telling me, no, it didn't. I'm like, yes, it did.
No. No, you told me I put something on my Twitter
And
account.
then when you said it wasn't you,
Yes.
I said, well, somebody has access to your account.
After bantering back and forth, and
I
telling me
said it
yes,
like
you
5
did.
times, guy.
After bantering back and forth and
Oh
telling
my
me, yes,
God.
you
Let me
did.
go back.
Yes, you did. I'm telling you, no, I didn't.
Okay, well, somebody had access.
Somebody
to your
does.
account.
Okay.
And it popped. You got my eyes coming. My neck is hurting. Oh my God. I gotta calm down.
Terry McLaurin's career.
I ain't worried about Terry McLaurin because we ain't talking about Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin versus Amari Cooper. If you want that bet, I will accept it once I find out who our quarterback is, or I'll decline it once I find out who our quarterback is.
Oh, you ain't got no balls, man. I don't know.
I got plenty of them.
I don't know who my quarterback is. I don't know if Deshaun
Yes, you
Watson.
do.
Wait a minute.
The man y'all
Wait a
paid
minute.
$235 million to.
Wait a minute.
That's who your quarterback is.
I don't know if Deshaun Watson is going to be able to start the season healthy. I have no idea.
But at least you got 2 quarterbacks that are on your squad.
You have a quarterback.
One is a Pro Bowler, and one is an up and coming guy. We don't have that. We have a guy.
But you said Terry McLaurin. But you said Terry McLaurin. It didn't make a difference who the quarterback was.
I didn't say it didn't make a difference. Yes, I never said that.
You just said.
Never said that. I said in response to you saying Amari Cooper has done it with multiple quarterbacks, I said so has Terry McLaurin.
Okay,
that's exactly what I said.
This you got a quarterback. You have a quarterback.
Again, as I said, once I find out who our starting quarterback is,
no balls.
I will make that deal, or
no balls.
So, I mean, hey, I got my 2
no balls
just right here, but it's okay. I understand. Just like somebody got access to your account because it's not you,
okay,
but you deny it. I mean, but it's there.
Absolutely, I deny it.
What I'm saying is that it didn't happen. You're denying that it happened. I
said I did not do it.
And
you said yes, you did, because it's there.
Oh my God! And I followed that by saying, since you're saying it's not you, someone has access to your account.
Okay. There's no way.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen!
I said okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Okay. I said okay.
I know he got a $92 million bond from somewhere. I don't know where he got that $92 million bond from, but this is how he acts. Facts that happened to me.
$92 million bond. What the hell are you talking about?
Look up history. Look who just got a $92 million bond. Facts. That's what happens to me. All right. Anyway, back to what I was originally going to talk about after just breaking the news for those that did not know that what's my man name? Jerry Jeudy is now in Cleveland. That means Cleveland has 2 Alabama receivers.
Okay.
Both not living up to their build as top guys. But both are serviceable. They're just not the guy. Have not been the guy when they're on their teams in the NFL, and it's okay. They were the teams attempted to make them the guy, but it's always the Robin player that outshone them. Amari Cooper in Oakland, who was better than him? Michael Crabtree. Numbers were better, touchdowns were better. Eventually, both were no longer on the team, but they stuck with Crabtree and let Amari Cooper go. Amari Cooper goes to Dallas, does well, but then guess what? Michael Gallup comes in and does better than him. They draft CeeDee Lamb and ultimately push Amari Cooper to Cleveland. I don't know if that's going to happen with Jerry Jeudy, but Jerry Jeudy joined the Denver Broncos as their number 1 guy. They tried to pair him with Cortland Sutton the following year. Cortland became the better receiver and more healthy receiver and more consistent receiver. Over the past 2 to 3 years, I'll say 2 years because I'm not going to say that year 3 of his 6-year time in the NFL, or was it year 2? One or the other. in the NFL was garbage, but it proved he was not a number one guy. Steve Smith got into a verbal altercation and a texting altercation with this man because he says he's a jag, just another guy. Steve Smith challenged him on that same game where Jerry Jeudy went off and was acting crazy in the background and saying all types of things. And what happened? Jerry Jeudy disappeared again. Let's see if Deshaun Watson, if he can stay healthy and if he is still the quarterback, can work with two supposedly top-tier receivers. My boy Brody says, it looks like the Broncos rebuilding, but that dead cap for Russ is nuts. That's right. Russell Wilson, and that goes, thank you. That was an easy transition to what I'm getting to. Thank you, my brother. Russell Wilson has the top 3 most dead cap space in the NFL history of the salary cap. When he left Seattle, it was $29 million. When he left Denver, it's a total of $89 million over 2 years, but each year counts on its own and the money goes up. So this year it's $39 million. And next year is like somewhere between 45 and 40, 42 and 45 million, something like that, which is bananas. It is bananas. So what do the Broncos do? They cut their best safety, Simmons. Another team that cut their best safety, in my opinion, was the Carolina Panthers. Jeremy Chin is out there. There are a lot of good safeties out there that are free. But we're talking about the quarterbacks today. Russell Wilson makes his trip up the East Coast to New York to sit down and talk with the Giants. Hops on a plane and goes to Pittsburgh to play in a system that he's more familiar with, which is run the ball first, play solid defense. And he's going to compete with the young kid, Kenny Pickett. So with that being the case, I think Russ is going to beat him out. I think you said something like he was going to go to Pittsburgh, Jerry. I'm not sure. It was either there or somewhere else. I think you said it last week. But everyone was thinking the first domino to fall would be Kirk Cousins. I think the first domino to fall is going to be Russell Wilson. Why? Because a team only has to pay him $1.2 million, the veteran league minimum, while he collects over the next 3 years over $100 million. Brody says, I will sit on my couch and chill if someone paid me like that. I wouldn't even want to play this year. Jerry?
What's that?
Your thoughts on Russell's visits and what Brody said?
Well, I had said that Russell's got to prove himself. Okay. It's what have you done for me lately? Okay. He got a bit beat out Kenny Pickett, and I think he will, because they weren't too happy with Kenny Pickett, even though they had picked him the year before. But some people said that Kenny Pickett was going to shine. I'm not one of them. That's documented. I'm not one of them. But someone said,
really? Okay.
Someone said
Kenny Pickett. I said that.
Kenny Pickett was going to shine. I said not
today. I
think
he was going to shine. I said he was going to be better, but I didn't say shine.
Not today, because he's not the one. Okay, he's not. He's a good backup. He's a good backup. Russell should have no problem unless his skills have diminished greatly, which I doubt. He should be able to shine in Pittsburgh. If he goes to Pittsburgh, he should be able to shine. Got a running game, got a decent defense, and wide receivers to stretch the field with, including a tight end. So Russell should be able to beat Kenny Pickett out, I would think, easily, even though Kenny Pickett knows the system or is familiar with the organization, and Russell isn't. He has to start fresh with another offensive coordinator and head coach. So, but if Russell's got anything in the tank, he should be able to beat him out. And we'll be cap friendly. We'll be money shouldn't be an issue because he's getting paid or anyway from Denver. So it's not like he's going to
Denver and Seattle.
He's not going to ask for the world because he's got most of the part of the world already. So all he's got to do is get on there for the veteran minimum and go from there.
Well, again, I believe he's the first domino, not Kirk Cousins. But just like Brody said, he believes Russell is better than most of he can start on any team that he wants to, or should be able to start on any team that he wants to, because most of the teams out here they have bad quarterbacks. Pittsburgh is an easy take that job. So is the Giants, according to Brody. He says this is Russ' last chance, or he will run himself out of the league. I don't think he's gonna run himself out of the league. I think he'll most likely either be a backup if this doesn't work out, because I guarantee you, he wins the job in Pittsburgh. He's got maybe 2 good years left. They're going to say, okay, Kenny, we got 2 more years on your contract. Hopefully you learn something. Take over. And I think Russell will end up in the UFL or somewhere like that towards the end of his career. If no team is willing to give him a starting job, because you've made over $100 million from 3 different teams. And if oh man, I'm getting a call. If the Steelers are going to pay him the league minimum and he wants to go somewhere that has a winning tradition and wins, perfect place to go. But anyway, that leads us to, where does Kirk Cousins go? I said it last week. Wherever Kirk Cousins doesn't go, that's where Justin Fields gets traded to. But I also saw a list of free agent quarterbacks. And I was thinking, Tyrod Taylor is somewhat better than Justin Fields. Give me one second. Give me one second, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I had an important call right there, but I'll get back to it once I'm done. Oh my God, Coach, I'm on the show. Coach. I can't answer the phone. All right. Anyway, Russell Wilson is the first domino, in my opinion, followed by Kirk Cousins. But seeing all of the talent that's out there at quarterback, I don't think Justin Fields is going to be worth that much in trade bait that the Bears want. I think he's, honestly, with 2 years left on his contract, of a rookie contract, he's probably worth a 3rd rounder. I think he's worth a 3rd rounder. Bears probably want at least a 2nd. He's not worth it, but we'll see. With that being the case, talk to me about who and what. Well, first of all, do you know the list of quarterbacks that are on the free agent market outside of the ones we normally talk about?
There's a lot of them, man.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Do you know of them?
I'm looking at the list right now.
Okay. Out of that list, and you can run it down for the people as well.
There's a lot.
Out of that, I know. Out of that list, how many do you think are better than Justin Fields? Can come in to some of these teams and perform better than Justin Fields? You can name them if you want.
Wow. How about Baker Mayfield?
Yep.
How about Joe Flacco?
Yep.
And I'm looking down this list here, and I don't see anyone else. No, I can't put him. I can't put him either. There's only a select few that I can't put Tyrod Taylor there. I can't put Jacoby Brissett there. Can't put Sam Darnold there. These are all
I would put Sam Darnold there.
Oh, you would? Okay. That's why I'm naming these
Yeah.
that are free agents. Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater,
For sure.
Tyler Huntley, Brian Hoyer, Joshua Dobbs. No Blaine Gabbert, no Carson Wentz, Trevor Siemian, AJ.
But the point is, you name maybe 4 players, 4 or 5 players, that are free agents.
Yes,
and you don't have to give up compensation for.
Yes,
that could come in and do a better job than Justin Fields. The only difference is you're getting a rookie contract.
Yep.
On the player, and he's younger.
Well, but some of these quarterbacks will get a cheaper salary than Justin Fields, because the ones I named are backups. They're backups.
Baker's not a backup.
Well, okay. I said some of the names are backups.
Yeah.
So Sam Darnold's a backup. Joe Flacco, he may get a chance at a starting job, but he came in as a backup, and he was a backup before he went to the Browns. Jacoby Brissett's a backup. You got Ryan Tannehill, that was a starter, but I think everyone sees him as a backup now. So it's going to be interesting. I said in the chat before, I'm excited about what's going to happen and where these players are going to go, especially besides quarterbacks. There's other positions that are key.
Yes, he sure did. He sure did. Now, a guy that
Baker had his best year in his career. Best year in his career. Okay.
No one said he didn't.
Let's see if he can progress or keep the same as it was last season.
Well, I'll say this. I give a lot of credit to that quarterbacks coach who's now the head coach in North Carolina, because he did the same thing for Geno, and then Geno regressed like the garbage he is.
Garbage, man. Stop.
Okay. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's garbage. But I think Baker's going to end up doing the same thing. I think Baker's going to end up in a very similar situation, whereas unless the offensive coordinator and the system is good for him, he's probably not going to be as good. If he signs back with Tampa Bay, he has Mike Evans back, and that's 50-50 balls all day. And that's good. So, with that being said.
And that's needed Brody Malone. I agree with him.
He says isn't.
That's right. I agree with him. That's why I think that the Titans are a dark horse to pick up one of these free agents, because I don't think Will Levis is it. We talked about that last week. You disputed it, but
no, we talked about Spears on your show.
we also talked about Will Levis, but whatever. We
I don't remember that.
we
but
talked.
okay.
We talked about Will Levis. Anyway, you said because they were rebuilding, and they wanted to rebuild with Levis. I said no. I think they need a quarterback. I don't think Will Levis is it. They went to Levis because, quite naturally, they wanted to see what they had in the rookie and Ryan Tannehill. They knew they weren't going to keep this year. So they went to Will Levis to see what he could do with the time that was left in the season. I don't think he's the one. I think they need an upgrade in the quarterback position. But unless Levis takes a huge leap, a Josh Allen type leap, then that's a different story. But I think privately, and that the Titans are going to be looking for a quarterback.
Okay.
They're going to be looking.
Well, there are plenty out there. They're not bringing Ryan Tannehill back.
No.
Tannehill, I think, if old boy up in Gerard Mayo is like Bill Belichick in the sense of power run, Tannehill might have a landing spot. If not, I don't think he won't be a starter, put it that way. But
that's and getting back to Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill and Russell Wilson were starters last year and lost their starting job, and people see them as backups right now. They see those quarterbacks as prove it to me type of quarterbacks. Whether that you can take a starting job if you come in there as a supposedly backup or challenging for a quarterback position, to show me you can take that position and be the one called the starter. I think Russell's in that position. I think Ryan Tannehill is definitely in that position. So we'll have to see how these guys land, because Ryan Tannehill has to have play action just like Russell Wilson. You have to have a strong running game just like Russell Wilson. And if you don't have a strong running game, those type of quarterbacks can't succeed. If you rely on just passing the football and just dropping back and passing the football, it ain't going to work for either one of these quarterbacks.
I think Russell could do that. I know he's better at play action.
He holds the ball too long.
Well, he does lock in. But I think he's a better drop back passer than Tannehill.
Okay.
He definitely has a better arm than Tannehill.
Well, let me put it this way. He has to have time, but he holds on to the ball too long. That's why he was taking all those sacks.
I get it. I'm not saying that that's wrong or anything. I'm just saying I don't think he's a quarterback that needs play action to be successful. I think he's more successful when there's a strong play action system. Tannehill, on the other hand, I believe is a quarterback that needs play action to be successful. I truly do. But went over a list of the quarterbacks. I think it's like what, 12, 13 quarterbacks?
No, there's a lot more of these quarterbacks sitting here.
Well, serviceable that can come in and do better than Justin Fields is my point.
Well,
there's about 5 or 6 of those.
There's about 4 or 5 of them, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if and when Kirk Cousins makes his decision on either Minnesota or try to go to Atlanta, this should happen, in my opinion, before the draft. My boy Robert Rue. Chicago finally seeing in Justin Fields what I always knew. He's soft.
Really?
Look.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to say he's soft, but I'm going to say this. It takes him a very long time to decipher a defense or coverage. Do I think he's better? Record speaks for itself. It does. It does. Kenny Pickett played one less year, has what, 10 more wins?
Yeah, but that Robert Rule. I'm seeing that text, and he didn't have many weapons. He didn't have many weapons. Okay. And an offensive line that was not all that either. So
that part I agree. Many weapons I don't agree, but that part I do agree.
He didn't have a lot of good weapons that were consistent. He only had DJ Moore. This year, he only had DJ Moore. Well, who did he have the year before? Come on, man. Really? Darnell Mooney? Come on. Really? Come on. That's why they went and got DJ Moore. That's what
I tell you what.
Donovan McNabb didn't either, but he had a better coach. Donovan McNabb had a better coach. That made a big difference.
Okay, you're right. He had a better coach and did his thing, but Donovan was also one of those guys that people speculated he couldn't really break down a defense. And he had Shady McCoy, he had Jeremy Maclin, and a few other weapons and Andy Reid, of course.
And Terrell Owens at one point.
Yeah, Terrell Owens to make up for shortcomings. Now, the difference is by year 3-4, Donovan wasn't running as much. Donovan was looking to pass first and running as a last resort. We're in year 3-4, and Fields is still running first like he a damn running back because he doesn't have confidence in what he's seeing downfield, even though he has DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and others. Not saying that he's got the best of the best, but when you have Padgett who came in for 4 games and still outperformed you over the entire season, maybe not in yards because you had the whole season to get the yards, but percentages and sack ratio with the same weapons and offensive line, there's something to be said. Now, and I agree, running quarterbacks do have a short life in the NFL. But Brody, just like you, JT, believes that Justin will fit perfectly in Atlanta. I think he would as well if he decides to throw the ball up to a 6'6" Drake London and a 6'4" Kyle Pitts. But if he's trying to fit the ball in a small little window, he's not going to do it because he's too scared.
Now,
he's too scared.
Let me explain this to you. They've got an offense. He's got a quarterback guru sitting in Atlanta waiting for.
Oh yeah, Bijan Robinson. My bad.
Now you listen to what I'm just said. You're totally off.
I've got the weapons that he has in Atlanta.
I said a quarterback guru waiting for someone, waiting for a quarterback to land. And if it's a young Justin Fields that can still be molded into a quality quarterback.
Coach, I'm about to send you my email. Thanks for watching.
Because he's 24, 25 years old, Justin Fields is. Very young. Very, very young. And Zach Robinson, coming from the LA Rams, is a really, really quarterback-friendly coach.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying
really
he's not.
Good quarterback-friendly coach.
But
and if what do we say about these young quarterbacks? They land in the right spot. They get a coach that can coach quarterbacks. They have a leg up. And if you have weapons, which you do, you have weapons. Drake, you just named them. Two a wide receiver, a tight end, and a running back. that can catch the football also out of the backfield. You have viable options on the offense. Their defense ain't that bad, and they're not in a really. They're not like they're in the AFC North. They're in the NFC South. So even though they're in the NFC South, I think they have a chance to make some noise with the head coach, offensive coordinator, and a young, very young quarterback that still can be molded and still not ruined yet.
Well, I would say this. You're right on those, but how is his football IQ, his acumen? But I'm gonna tell you, Coach, the guy that was calling me, he says he gave us a compliment. You guys are very astute in the technical strategies of different players. Awesome job. Lieutenant Colonel retired. I'll just say that. Lieutenant Colonel retired, buddy of mine.
Okay.
Coached basketball with in Korea. Anyway, you can have the best QB coach in the league, but if the quarterback isn't capable, not saying he's not, but if the quarterback isn't capable of adjusting and making the changes needed, you're going to have a problem. Todd Monken is not a quarterback whisperer, but he provided the structure and the system needed to showcase Lamar Jackson's passing ability more so than his rushing. Lamar had a lot of rushing yards this year, but you really wouldn't know it because he was doing very well at passing the ball.
Good luck with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, geez, here we go. Lamar Jackson.
Good luck, people with Lamar Jackson. I told you.
All I'm saying is I'm going by what you're saying as far as having a great QB whisperer, but Todd Monken wasn't a great QB whisperer. He just devised a system that went well with, Lamar's ability. And we didn't talk about his running as much because he did well passing the ball. All right. So let's say Justin Fields gets traded for a third-round pick during the draft.
That's a steal, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's equitable. But I also had a thought about this. Tell me what you think.
What's that?
I posted on my Facebook page. And people in the chat, Robert, Brody, and whoever else is watching.
Okay.
Let's say Chicago drafts Caleb Williams and then proceeds to trade him to Washington if Washington drafts Alt or some other player that Chicago needs or truly wants because they don't want to deal with the Caleb Williams sideshow. In other words, pull an Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger's trade, because Caleb seemingly does not want to go to Chicago. I was listening to Moving the Chains with Pat Kerwin. You should love Pat. You should know Pat. After all the years of you being a Jet lover. And Jim Miller, former Chicago Bear quarterback, they believe that Caleb is trying to orchestrate, and his father are trying to orchestrate something very similar.
Sound a little cocky. Sound a little cocky to me. Come on, man.
Here's the deal. I think it's possible because it's happened in the past. But Caleb has a lot of leverage.
He ain't got no damn leverage.
Yes, he does. He does.
Oh, he ain't got no damn
He's
leverage.
got a lot of money from Neil. He's better. Listen what I'm saying. He's better than last year's number one overall pick. He's supposed to be this year's number one overall pick, and he's better than any quarterback that's coming out next year.
Let me explain this to you, because this is deja vu all over again. This is Robert Griffin III all over again. Okay,
Ooh.
Robert. Yeah, this
talent
is
wise or behavior. I can say behavior, but I wouldn't say talent.
This is wild. This is Robert Griffin III all over again. Okay, come on, man. Come on. You know, you got to come in humble, and he ain't coming in humble. His representation wants a piece of the team. Come on, man. Really? You ain't all that and a box of chocolates? Come on. Come on. Really? Really? And he won't do any medical. He didn't do any medicals at the combine. What's he? Come on,
He
man.
said he's only going to do medicals for the teams that actually have an opportunity to draft him. Washington and Chicago. But he also, during the combine, spoke with the two organizations, and Chicago attempted to set up a date to work him out, but he declined.
Come on, man. Come on. Hey, do you see Robert Griffin III on top of this guy's forehead? Come on, man.
No.
Come on. He's cocky. Look. He's cocky and think he's all that. And you tell me about the Nil? The Nil's got his brain spoiled. Come on.
No, the Nil didn't get his brain spoiled.
Oh,
it fattened his pockets.
It fattened his pockets.
It gave the player leverage.
It's fattened his pockets and his head. You don't see it.
No.
Come on, man.
This goes back to what the conversation from last week when we were talking about coaches not coming to the combine and saying they'll just look at the tape. And I'm like, okay, I can understand why Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr. and the rest of those guys decided to do it because coaches did it. Look at my tape. I'm supposed to be in the top 5. Everybody thinks I'm in the top 5. I think I'm in the top 5. I'm not going to come up here and have a problem. And look how many linemen, pulled hamstrings running the 40.
I'm asking you to do me a favor. Put up that last text. And that
I already did.
Well, put it up again because Caleb ain't proven nothing. That's what I tried to tell you. He ain't proven nothing.
You ain't got to hit your mic on it. You getting all animated. You hit your mic.
Because this kid looked like Robert Griffin III, looking like Johnny Manziel, coming in cocky and ain't done nothing. That's what I keep on telling you. And you said he got leverage. This guy in the last text said he ain't got no leverage. He has no leverage.
He didn't say. Well, look.
He has no leverage.
I will say this.
Yeah, and NIL's a setup too. Listen to what this guy is trying to tell you, and people are agreeing with me. Come on, man.
No one's saying that it's. No one's saying that Caleb Williams isn't eccentric. I said I agree with you on the Robert Griffin portion of how he is.
It's cockiness.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
And intrinsicity about it. It's cockiness. He thinks he's all that. And I said this before, just before this guy said it about the Nil. The Nil has made his head big, and it's big. His head is huge right now. And so he thinks he's all that in a box of chocolates. He ain't. You got to prove it in the NFL with grown-ass men. And he has.
Well, I will say this. I believe Caleb Williams has immense talent. However, he is souring on me because of the Robert Griffin III's behavior while he was in the NFL is what Caleb seems like he's coming in with. That does not speak about his talent, though. Now, Neil, and you and Rob can say that Neil has spoiled the kids and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I believe that it's given the student athletes that are highly talented the opportunity. and you got to remember, I see what I ain't gonna put that up yet. I'm gonna finish my thought.
You got to put it.
I'm gonna finish my thought. Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
I believe Neil has given these players leverage, whereas a lot of these agents aren't going to be able to do anything too much for these kids and take their money because just like Caleb doesn't have an agent. Just like Lamar, he's representing himself.
Let me say this.
Wait a minute. But Neil has given these guys an opportunity to say, well, you know what? My dream has been to be in the NFL and win a Super Bowl. Caleb even was on. I think it was when he was getting interviewed by Kurt Morrison and oh my gosh, I forgot his name. But he said his goal is to be the best of all time in the NFL.
I heard that.
And to have a gold jacket.
Robert Griffin. I heard that from Robert Griffin.
Okay. And he wants to go somewhere that's going to feel the same way. So with that being said, Robert Roode and his rude Philadelphia Eagles
Roquan Smith is going to beat his ass.
Boy,
I told
you don't even know, right? Roquan is in freaking Baltimore. You don't even know if what team he's going to go to.
Let me tell you something. A Roquan ass player is going to beat his ass. Okay? You come in cocky like that, you ain't proved nothing with these grown ass men. Come on, man. Johnny Manziel, where is he in the league? Robert Griffin III, are they in the league? No, neither one of them. And they came in cocky. You come in cocky, you don't come in humble and prove yourself. You come in cocky and don't prove yourself. You got problems. They're going to run you out of the league real quick. Real quick.
So, again, it's not about, in my opinion, it's not about just his cockiness. Because he has ability. He really has ability. The difference is, what is it about Caleb Williams that turns people off? Because he has the talent. If he goes to a situation where he has to be the savior, and he used the example, when I left Oklahoma, USC was like 4-8. And then they've improved their record 2 times, got in the top 5 twice, ultimately falling out. But when you have Jerry Rice's son, who is nowhere good as his dad, Brandon is just a big body en route guy. You have a slow running back, because London's a slow running back. We saw that at the combine. And you have very little talent, but you will a team to a top 5 ranking get blown out by not blown out. They came back. Tulane came back and beat USC in the bowl game year before. And then last year, Utah beats them.
Come on, man.
There's a lot to be said. With that being said,
yes, man.
Brody says this dude way too cocky. If he starts, he could potentially fail. Chicago or Washington isn't the best scenario. Not putting your boys down. It's okay. I already know that. He going into potentially Detroit division and Dallas division with Parsons. He's going to get smacked in the mouth. So I'll say this. Chicago, the NFC North, is way more forgiving defensively than the NFC East. Way more. He'll be able to put up numbers in the NFC North. NFC East, that's where you'll definitely see if he's going to fail or not, because of the Cowboys defense, because of the Eagles defense, and to a certain extent, the Giants defense. We can't say that about, Detroit's defense, because Detroit gives up a lot of points from time to time. Green Bay gives up points. They're okay, but they just fired the defensive coordinator, got a new defensive coordinator. Minnesota's defense is coming around. You never know.
Let me say this, man. Come on.
Go ahead.
Say this.
Go ahead.
Mr. Williams, and I'm going to say Caleb's dad as Mr. Williams. You and your son are coming into the NFL. This ain't Kansas anymore. Okay? You can't dictate, because this is not college. And you better learn what it can be done and what can't be done. As in coming into the league You can't ask for a percentage of the team. Come on, man. Really? This is not college. Come on, man. Really? And your son and whoever's advised him, tell him don't do this, don't do that. And you put him in front of the camera and he doesn't know how to answer questions the right way. Come on, man. There's a problem. There is a problem, a problem of, okay, I was the man in college. I'm supposed to be the man coming into the NFL. If you're cocky coming into the NFL, you better come with it. You better come with it. Otherwise, you're going to get smacked the hell on down. Quick. Just like Johnny Manziel, just like Robert Griffin III, and just like Ryan Leaf. Okay? Just like those three quarterbacks that came into the league cocky, thought they were all that. Those quarterbacks are before nil. They're before nil. And they got picked high. Number one, number two. Come on, man. Come on.
Firstly, I'm going to say this. Coach, congratulations on being chosen as a speaker at the Baptist Convention. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, Coach. Proud of you. And to your point, JT, I understand cockiness does not equal success.
I just named you three quarterbacks.
I know. And I heard you. But it also doesn't mean that they're failures. Cockiness does not mean that you're a failure. If you can humble yourself to learn the playbook, to be a student, you can be successful and still be cocky.
You're trying to find the word.
I think
that's a bad sign. You're trying to find a
word.
No.
I was thinking of how to say this.
You're trying to find a
quarterback. As a quarterback, you should be cocky because you have to believe in your arm strength and your decision making and your ability. Any other player or position, such as cornerback in Deion Sanders, cockiness was backed up. Cockiness is what made others bring their best to you. Iron sharpens iron. Now, if you're not iron, you're going to fizzle. You're going to fizzle.
I just named you.
I know what you just named. And when you're Robert Griffin III and you're downing the players inside the locker room and you're bad-mouthing them to the owner, you're going to see a lot of lookout blocks. You're going to see a lot of bad play. When you're Michael Vick and you have Dan Reeves as your head coach and you're banking on your ability, which is great, and it's filling seats, but it's not winning the big games, it's a problem. But you're winning.
Michael Vick.
No, I'm talking about cockiness.
Different era.
And I got it. But what I'm talking about is the cockiness and ability portion that players bring to the league. I'm not saying because it's the 2000s or whatever that it's a different animal. I'm saying all these players that I mentioned I didn't finish my list, but all these players came to the league cocky. All these leagues came to the league with a lot of talent. Some ran their mouth about their teammates and ended up paying the price for it, like RG3, Johnny Manziel.
And Ryan Leaf.
Michael Vick didn't run his mouth, but He did a lot of things that ran Dan Reeves out of a job, who wasn't a bad coach. He just wasn't mature enough and ready to lead that team. Caleb Williams can be that same type, where he has all that talent and he can get the ball scored. He can do all these things. But if the wins start to be less and less and the attitude or whatever is more and more, then you're right.
Okay.
He can fizzle out.
Let me just say this. I named Johnny Manziel. I named RG3. I named Ryan Leaf. And one pretty recently is Baker Mayfield. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Baker Mayfield has struggled to he's been on how many teams? Baker Mayfield has struggled to find a landing spot because he has not been that guy, that dude that he professed to be. He has not been that dude that he professed to be. I just named you 4 quarterbacks that came in cocky and talking a lot of smack and that hadn't proven anything, that didn't succeed.
Whoa. That's a false statement. Only one of them didn't succeed.
He hadn't succeeded yet. He only had one good year.
Brother, listen to me. He had more than one good year. His second year in the league, he was pretty daggone good, where you backed up off of your statement that he was a bust. He had 3, he's been in the league, 6 years? He's had half and half, 50-50. Only one of that list that you mentioned that was just awful was Ryan Leaf. RG3 was pretty daggone good for the first couple of years.
He couldn't stay healthy. RG3.
That doesn't equate to him not being successful, because he was successful when he was healthy.
His ability is availability. And if he's not
when he was on the field, they won.
If he wasn't on the field,
oh my God,
on a consistent basis, he's a bust. I keep telling you that. And if he wasn't on the field, he's a bust.
Jerry, in your opinion, you need to qualify it. In your opinion,
in my opinion, well,
thank you, because he's not a bust.
Let me put it this way, and I said this before, and this is how I equate it. If a player is not on the field on a consistent basis, he's a bust. He is not on the field available for his teammates. He is not a good player. He may be a good player when he's on, but how often is he on?
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna use your logic. And watch this. Watch this. Your quarterback that you love so much that you left Houston for, went to Cleveland, ain't been available since he moved to Cleveland. Is he a bust?
At this time?
No, not at this time. We're using exactly what you said. He has not played in 3 years consistently. And when he did play, it was inconsistent play. And that was even when he was in Houston.
Well,
was he?
Can I answer? You gonna let me? Can
it's a yes or no question.
It's a yes
or no question.
At this time,
Deshaun Watson's a bust.
At this time, he's a bust. Okay, but okay. At this time,
it ain't no qualifier. It ain't no qualifier, because you can't say Baker Mayfield's a bust, because Baker Mayfield is still playing too. But Baker Mayfield has played more games than Deshaun Watson has. But go figure. Deshaun Watson has played less games than Baker Mayfield because he was available more than Deshaun Watson. But yet, only at this time, Deshaun Watson was a bust.
At this time, Baker Mayfield has outperformed.
Then you need to qualify that with Baker too.
Let me just finish. Okay, let me finish my thought. Okay, at this time, Baker has played a good year. At this time, let's see how he does next year. Let's see how he does in 2024. Let's see what let's see what Deshaun Watson does this 2024. The jury is still out right now. At this time, without playing any, I totally agree with this guy. These young, you know what? If this guy was on the show, we'd be killing it right now. killing it because
Rob has been on the show. Rob is the one that bet.
See,
that
you're not listening.
That bet Q. And I'm going to tell you, he would be. His argument would sound a lot better than your argument because I can show your hypocrisy. You're being hypocritical.
Look.
You're being hypocritical, though.
Look, no, I'm not. Let me put it this way.
No, you're not.
Let me put it this way. I said Deshaun Watson hasn't lived up to his hype. That's being 100% transparent.
You said at this time he hasn't lived. You didn't make a flat statement like you did for Baker, like you did for RG3. And
RG3,
by the way,
come on, RG3 was
by the way,
was a bust.
To say that RG3, Johnny Manziel, and
Johnny Manziel
and Baker Mayfield are in the same boat as Ryan Leaf is an insult to their ability because the only person that's in the same, in my opinion, and put it that way, the only person I feel is ever in the same boat as Ryan Leaf as being a bust is Jamarcus Russell.
Let me put it this way.
Those are the only two big busts I don't think are like that.
I don't think Jamarcus Russell was talking a lot of garbage coming into the league. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think he was talking a lot of
so yours is based upon braggadocious then. Being braggadocious.
No, just let me put it this way. Johnny Manziel, a bust, didn't live up to his hype. Ryan Leaf didn't live up to his hype. RG3 couldn't stay healthy, didn't live up to his hype, and wasn't in the league long enough. And Baker Mayfield hasn't lived up to his hype. That's what I'm saying. That's
different than being a bust. That's different than being a bust.
Well, let me put it this way: you hype yourself up to a certain point and you don't live up to it, you're a bust. That's what I'm saying.
I would. Okay.
If you hype yourself up to a certain point and you don't live up to it, you are a bust.
So what I will agree and disagree with you on is RG3 hyped himself up as being this talent. RG3 was that talent. RG3 screwed himself by being a cancer in the locker room. And that caused players not to perform for him and with him the way that they could have. So RG3 screwed himself. I don't think he's a bust. Ryan Leaf, he didn't come in with a lot of mouth.
Yes, he did.
He did not come in with I don't know if you've seen the 30 for 30 when they were doing the Ryan Leaf Peyton Manning debate thing, but he was definitely not a loudmouth, I'm the best thing since sliced bread person. Not at all. When he got in the league, he didn't even do that. What he did do, though, was be an awkward, very agitated quarterback who believed way more in his arm. You know who did do that, though? Jeff George. Yep. Jeff George, he didn't talk like really braggadociously, but he talked that talk, had a big gun, but he couldn't win to save his life because he was throwing too many interceptions. Now back to Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel, and I said this when Kevin Sumlin was being interviewed and was asked about Johnny Manziel, and he quickly pivoted to Mike Evans because he said, let's talk about a really good player, Mike Evans. And to me, that was the sign that Johnny Manziel wasn't going to be that good. Johnny Manziel was horrible. And he proved that in this Netflix thing when he was shown never to study. Let me go back to this is what Robert said, and I agree with it. I think all the players you have a beef with failed to study outside of Baker. RG3 was known to lightly study. But aside from physical gifts, film study, reading defenses, understanding checkdowns, and all the other cerebral requirements are just as important. The problem with all the people you just named Only 1.5 of, well, 2 of them did most of that. RG3 didn't want to check it down. Neither did Johnny Manziel. Ryan Leaf, he studied, but he never checked it down. And he had a hard time reading defenses. Ryan Leaf, just total nothingness. And we saw what happened to him once he left the league, how he got involved with illegal substances, went to prison, and all that stuff. And now he's changed his life. So I give him credit for that. RG3 became a backup. Took the job in Baltimore. Messed up his other knee. Had to retire. Johnny Manziel proved that he was truly a bust because when he went to the CFL, the Canadian Football League, he was hot garbage up there too. So the combination of all things that Robert said, I agree. Those make a solid quarterback. And Caleb Williams, he knows defenses. He reads defenses. He's very good athletically. The only problem that I see with Caleb Williams is his attitude, his cockiness, not his talent. That brings us back on track. But let me go to what Brody says. Brody says, I don't want the man to fall, but you can't come in talking about who you won't go to. Eli actually got lucky in this situation. You definitely have to bet on yourself. You actually throw a pass that matters. The NFL is a grown man's league.
That's why I totally agree. I
don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
I totally agree. You can't come in and talk a lot of garbage because you ain't done nothing yet, Baker. You ain't done nothing yet. And I said that about Baker Mayfield. You can't come in talking a lot of garbage that grown men who are trying to support their families and talking a lot of mess and ain't done nothing. Now put it that way, ain't done nothing in the league.
You're right, but I bring up the same examples that I told you about, like Michael Vick and Deion Sanders. They ain't did nothing, but they came into the league talking the same mess, but they backed it up. But they came in talking the same mess. And people like you who would say, well, they can't do that. They ain't been nowhere. They ain't did nothing. But give the guy a chance to prove it before you say he's not this, he's not that, he's a problem, he's going to be like this, he's going to be like. We don't know what he's going to be like.
Look. I know. Let me put it this way, and I'll sum it up like this: something basic. If it walks, talks,
oh my God,
looks like a duck,
it's got.
What is it?
Jerry.
What is it? What is it? If it walks, talks, and look like a duck, what is it? That's all I'm saying.
It could be a goose because
you disagreed with me with Johnny Manziel. You disagreed with me with Baker Mayfield, and it walks and talks like a duck.
So again, are you saying Baker Mayfield's a bust?
Baker Mayfield.
Are you saying Baker Mayfield's a bust?
Listen to me what I'm just saying. Listen.
I am.
Listen. Baker Mayfield has not lived up to his own hype. Period.
So he's a bust?
Full stop.
Okay, so he's a bust.
Baker, you didn't listen to what I'm saying.
I heard what you said.
Baker
I'm asking you
Mayfield
a yes or no question.
has not lived up to his own hype.
Again, is he a bust in your opinion?
First round pick should not be playing musical chairs with teams. Hello?
Jerry, I just asked you a simple question.
I think he's a bust. Yes, I think he's a bust. Okay,
so is Deshaun Watson.
I didn't say he wasn't. I did not
I know
say
you didn't say he wasn't. What you said was at this time.
You're
That's
right.
what you said.
At this time.
And I'm going to tell you it's not at this time. I'm going to say
he is
a bust.
Let me put it this way. This is the comparison I'm going to give you. Okay. And I know you may not agree with it, but this is the type of comparison and conflict we had with players. You said Christian McCaffrey was a bust because he consistently get hurt. I
I
told
didn't say it
you.
was a bust.
Oh, yes, you did. I told you
I
that
said he wasn't the number one pick in fantasy several years ago.
I told you,
several years ago.
and I told you they were soft tissue injuries, and
Yes, several years ago, Jerry. Last couple of years, I've said
and I told you there was soft
the best
tissue
running
injuries,
back.
and it's a big difference between soft tissue injuries and skeletal injuries or ligament injuries. Big difference, and I got constant pushback, and I've been proven right about that. Come on, man, and
Jerry, a couple years ago, yeah, but the last several, no. And in fact, you're the one saying he's going to regress this year, while I'm saying he's going to be still up there. So,
no
I mean, if you want to talk about current stuff, make sure you mention what you said currently.
Let me. Yes, you're absolutely right.
So, if you, I mean, 2-3 years ago, yeah,
people,
3 years ago,
people, listen to what I'm just going to say here because it's going to be a bold statement. This is the perky ears up. This is going to be
my
a bold
next
statement.
But I'm gonna go ahead and listen.
People, tomorrow.
Oh, I ain't gonna listen to that.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. That's all right. I don't care.
Go ahead, man.
I don't care.
Go ahead.
People, tomorrow on Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, on what you see back here for no reason fantasy football, I'm doing a 3-round mock draft. A 3-round mock draft. And most people in the last two, my mock draft, someone has been number one. Okay. That person is not going to be number one in this draft. Okay. And I want to tell you this, and you may not believe it. Christian McCaffrey is going to regress. But people are going to draft him number one. If I ever get the number one pick in my 2024 draft, it ain't going to be Christian McCaffrey. I tell you that right now. And I say he's going to regress, but the numbers he put up past season, he ain't going to have this season. They're going to fall.
Okay, that's fine. But again, we're not talking about them. We're talking about the quarterbacks. And I'm glad this was a spirited conversation. And we understand that Deshaun Watson's a bust if Baker Mayfield's a bust.
So far, he's a bust. So far, Baker Mayfield's a bust. I'll put it that way.
He done changed the way he done classify Baker Mayfield. Anyway, Justin Fields looks to be going in that same direction.
I'm surprised, man, he hasn't gone. I'm surprised they haven't pulled a trigger or something so far.
Nobody wants to give up what Chicago was. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He is not worth a second-round pick. He's not worth a first-round pick. He's barely worth a third-round pick. Only reason why he's worth a third-round pick is because he has 2 years on a rookie contract. That's it. If he didn't have that rookie year, the fifth-year option, and his fourth year, he wouldn't even be worth that.
Oh, wow.
I look at Justin Fields the same way I looked at Chase Young. Chase Young, second overall pick in his draft class. I thought he should garner more than Sweat, but Sweat was the more productive and best player on the defensive line outside of Allen and Payne. Sweat was the guy, and Sweat went to a better situation. He didn't play in the Super Bowl, but Sweat got the money off the rip. So when I look at what's going on with Justin Fields, he's not worth what Chicago wants. And this is why I said I believe Chicago might draft Caleb Williams, trade him to Washington for the second, whoever Washington picks the second, who I think, if there's some type of backdoor deal going, will be Alt, the left tackle from Notre Dame. The reason why I say this is because both teams need a left tackle. Both teams. I don't care what quarterback you put behind that line. If you don't have a left tackle and he is head and shoulders the best left tackle, that quarterback's going to get killed. Now, if there's a plan for Washington to get Jalen Daniels and move back up into the first round to get the second best or the third best left tackle, because there's some good left tackles in the draft, that's fine. But I firmly believe no one is going to give up a second or first round pick and barely a third round pick for Justin Fields. Where do you think, or what compensation do you think Chicago should get for Justin Fields? And remember, the whole thing, wherever Kirk Cousins lands, and Kirk Cousins ain't going to sign nowhere until after the draft. So, at least I don't think so. But go ahead.
Justin Fields, I feel, is a third. Maybe a 6th or 7th round pick. Also,
I didn't hear what you said he should be.
For a team that's going to grab Justin Fields, I think a 3rd and 7th, a 6th or 7th round pick.
So multiple picks, the highest being a 3rd rounder.
Yes.
Okay. In this year's draft, nothing in next year's draft, right?
Oof.
You think he's worth?
I don't think he's worth. Definitely don't think he's worth the first rounder. I'm on the edge of a second rounder, but he's definitely worth the third rounder, and an additional pick, maybe a 5th rounder next year. Let me put it that way: 3rd and a 5th rounder next year.
Yes, he's been hurt.
Yeah, but that offensive line. I mean,
year.
he's had to run for his life a lot of times.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if Washington or Chicago get a quarterback. They need a left tackle. Both of them do, in order to protect whoever they're going to get.
Well, this is a tackle draft.
Yeah, I said that.
This is a tackle draft. So I mean,
it's some very good tackles in there.
Yes, you can grab a tackle in here. It doesn't have to be in the first round. You can grab a tackle in here. So a decent tackle. I don't know, man. I mean, I think, in my opinion, Chicago needs to make a move right away. In my opinion, need to make a move right away, ahead of where Kirk Cousins goes, for the simple reason wherever Kirk goes, it's going to diminish the value of Justin Fields. It's going to narrow the spots he's able to go.
Okay,
So,
but I don't think they need to hurry anything because teams aren't in a rush.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what's going on starting Monday.
Yeah,
starting Monday.
So the word is, and Russ is the first domino that might fall, where you have to decide what's going to happen. Because if Russ goes to Pittsburgh, that takes Pittsburgh out of the equation.
Absolutely.
For Kurt.
Yep. And
for Justin. And with that,
let me ask you this then. They start negotiating come Monday. Come Monday, the negotiations have come to where Russ goes to Pittsburgh. Kirk goes to Atlanta. Now what happens? With Justin?
He goes to Minnesota. He gets traded to Minnesota.
You think, let me, yeah. just think about this. Just think about this. You think the Chicago Bears are going to trade within the division?
Yeah.
And give Minnesota Justin Fields, a 24-year-old Justin Fields with, wait a minute, just hear me out, because this is one of my favorite offenses, with a offensive-minded coach that knows how to get the best out a quarterback
Yes.
and
Again.
the division rival.
No matter how you stir the
Wow.
pot, the answer is yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because nobody else is going to want them.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly my point.
So when I tell you teams don't care what Chicago has to do, because and that's why I asked you to run down the names of all those players, the quarterbacks that are free agents, because they got enough players there, and we mentioned at least 4 or 5 of them are better than Justin Fields.
But
I'd start Gardner Minshew over Justin Fields.
That's my point.
But dude, I know, but what I'm saying is the only other place that they could trade him to get value right now.
They ain't gonna get no value. They won't get value because Kurt's gone to one of the teams that they thought Justin was going to, and so is Russell.
You're just not. You're hell bent on what you feel, and I get it, but they'll get value. It just won't be the type of value they want. Just like right now, they're not getting the value they want from teams now with all the spots open.
And then with 2 spots closed, they're going to get a greatly diminished value. That's my point.
Yes, and I get you, but Chicago can't force the function. They can't force the function is my point. Who are they going to force it with?
They can force it. They can say, well, that's what negotiations are about. In a team, you want to be able to leverage what you have to get the most of what you have or what you want to give up. With limited options, with Kirk going to whatever team and Russell going to the other team that were supposedly where Justin Fields was going, you're limiting your options, meaning you're not going to get what you want.
No, I get that. But if they can't force a team to give them the type of offer they want, which is currently rumored to be at least a second rounder.
But if you're the first one out of the block versus Kurt and Russell going somewhere, you have better options. You have better options than if those 2 quarterbacks go to teams that supposedly wanted Justin, or were an option for Justin. Now that option is not there anymore, and your options are extremely limited. You don't want that. You want to be able to be in the best leverage position that you can possibly be in.
I got that. Right now, they're in the best leverage position because nobody signed. However,
exactly.
However, it's not the very best because you have better players that are available that you don't have to give up a draft pick for. And when Chicago wants at least a second rounder for somebody, when they don't have to give up any draft capital whatsoever, you have no leverage at Chicago. You have some, but not as much as you're making it out to be, Jerry. If they want to get a player, I mean, all the team has to do is say, okay, well, Monday we'll sign Gardner Minshew, or we'll sign Kirk Cousins. We'll sign some of the other teams. I mean, some of the other players you name that are better. Baker, that are better than giving up draft picks to an unknown guy that you're only going to have possibly for 2 years.
He's not an unknown because you've seen his body of work.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Let me just finish. And you've seen his body of work, and you've also seen the potential or in his body of work, because they have not, in my opinion, done fair to this player in Chicago. Okay, they have not, in my opinion. Okay,
that's your opinion.
Done fair. He has had limited options. He has limited offensive players and a limited offensive line that he has to deal with, and the offensive scheme really hasn't fit what he can do, what his potential is. That's why so many people are talking about Justin Fields and being able to go to a spot where you would have better coaching. You would have a better spot of displaying his talents more. Why do you think that he's so talked about? He's only 24, 25 years old. He's a young ass quarterback.
He is.
He's a young ass quarterback, and that has a lot of ability, and people are trying to see where he's going to go. So whoever has Justin Fields is going to be able to get that ability out of him, put him in a situation with offensive weapons, with a defense and offensive line that he can display his true talent. That's what I'm saying.
So I hear you, but I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
Atlanta picks like number 11 or something like that. Rumor is they're getting Bo Nix or they're going to get J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
And
I don't think either one of them.
I believe both are better than Justin Fields.
Okay.
J.J. McCarthy is a very good game manager. He makes the right decision with the ball. And when he makes the right decision with the ball, that means no turnovers or very few turnovers. Bo Nix, strong arm, good with the system. And as you said, the type of quarterback, guru, coach is there. So either one of them can work with him. So that takes Atlanta off the board if they don't give up a 4th or 5th round pick for him. Because I honestly think Michael Penix Jr., outside of his injury history, is better than Justin Fields. I don't think Jalen Daniels is, but he won the Heisman, and he's a bigger version of Lamar, meaning he's a little bit more bulkier than Lamar. Not much, but very Lamar Jackson-ish. Caleb Williams is the overall number 1 guy. There are at least 4 or 5 QBs that are coming out that seem to be better than your boy Justin. So why would I, as a different organization, give up anything Chicago wants at any time to get Justin Fields? Because we see he can't read defenses that well. We see that he has problems staying healthy.
Opinion. That's your opinion.
So when you look at his body of work, he has less wins than a guy that's only played 2 years. So you know you're right. You know what you're getting, and he's not worth anything that Chicago wants to give. I mean, wants in return for him. I don't see him being traded for a lot.
Okay.
Not at all. He might even stay on the team because he can't find a trade partner.
No problem. You have your opinion. I have mine. I mean, it's a matter of opinion. Okay. No problem. I'm not going to fight you on it. Okay.
You have been for the last hour and 33 minutes.
I haven't been fighting you. I just said that the Bears would fit well. Their organization would fit well if they got this done quicker before the other 2 quarterbacks found a home.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but what I'm saying is they don't have as much leverage as you think they do to make it happen.
That's just a matter of opinion. Okay, no problem.
There are 20 free agent quarterbacks, 5 or 6 of them, which we both, you and I, both believe are better than Justin Fields. There are at least 5 to 6 quarterbacks that could probably come in and do better than Justin Fields. But yet Chicago has a lot of leverage. I mean, unless your definition of leverage is different than mine, I definitely think there's a big difference there. But that's just me. All right, JT already promo for no reason tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I should be on to give him a little grief, to see how he breaks down his number one. Are you going from back to front or front to back?
I'm starting at the number one pick, and then working my way through that first round, to the second round, to the third round.
Okay. All right. So I will be a observant person and be as polite as possible.
Yeah, okay.
What?
Okay. I said okay. What am I
thought you said yeah, okay. That's like this being disrespectful. Like, yeah, okay.
I'm saying yeah, okay. Okay.
No, it's just the way you said it. It sounded like you said, yeah, okay. As in, right.
You getting all up in your feelings? What's the problem?
I'm a Shaka Zulu you.
Okay.
Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Very lively show. My neck is killing me because I strained it up here, trying to understand Jerry Taylor. But, excuse me, I apologize. I want to thank Robert Rue, my boy, Brody Malone, my other boy, Big House, for being part of the program and sharing and giving a lot of comments. Appreciate you guys a lot. And for those that love the show or like the show, thank you. Coach Mike Hampton, appreciate you, brother. And congratulations again on being a speaker or delivering the word at the Baptist convention you're going to be attending. A big one. So I'm happy for you and I'm proud of you, Coach. With that being said, JT, ATM Money, you got anything else you want to
add? 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, YouTube, X, and also Facebook. Tomorrow morning.
Well, before we get out of here, we got to say who this show's brought to you by. So,
hey, hero, don't be a zero. 15% off military discount. 624coffeecompany.com for more info. Visit the website. Verify status. Stop drinking dirty water. You deserve great coffee. Great coffee for great people. That's 624coffeecompany.com.
That's right, 624coffee.com. And we appreciate you guys. Come back next week. It's going to be more fireworks. JT keeps saying in the chat, he can't wait for the show because he know he's going to try to be, hot-blooded. Remember that song?
What?
Yeah, do you remember the song? Hot-blooded?
No, I don't remember that song.
Oh, you also didn't remember to get his stats. You still didn't remember to do the stats because you knew I was right and your boy is some garbage. But that's okay. You thought I forgot. I didn't forget. I told you, don't ever say Amari Cooper anywhere better than Terry McLaurin. But I still love you, brother. I still love you.
Fantasy sports and politics. Get ready to rumble! You want to talk smack? You in the right place. So take a step back before I get all up in your
remember, because I don't remember. I remember every bit of this.
The other dude's holding on the phone line. Your voice will be heard, sir.
Next caller, please.
Oh!
Jerry's gonna get him.